feels it feels like time stands still here. Let's walk this way. You ready?
Yeah.
I thought you have a tour of my life here.
所以大家会跟着老师走一遍这个路线，是他生命的路线。
This arch over there, it's probably the most famous arch at Princeton. That one. And there's two traditions when you come here as a freshman. Your first job is to steal the clapper inside the bell. And it's very difficult and dangerous to climb under it. And if your class member can steal the metal part inside the bell, ding, 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 then you like brain. Yeah. And then there's an old challenge to steal this cannon. You can steal the bell and the cannon. Your class is super class. So my class succeeded. So we are pretty famous. So I live in this building. I spent 3 years here. Then I went to study in Asia most of my last year. And they put you together with 2 other guys and you don't know them. Then I want to show off how smart I am. So I introduced I'm Michael Roach. I'm #1 in my state. I went to the White House also. So I said, you know, I'm 750 and 740. He said, good to meet you. I'm 800 and 800. He's 800 and 800. So when you come here, we call it rude awakening. It means you're like, now suddenly you have to compete with the best. It's very, very difficult. This is called 1879 Hall. It was built 200 years ago. And it's the religion department. So this is my home. And I took many classes here. And then one day I'm coming to my class and there's an Indian boy in our class. And he's sitting under this tree. And his back is to the tree. And he goes, like that, you know. And I said, what do you want? Because I have to go sit down. I said, I can't sit down. I have to go to class. Sit down. Okay. And I sit down. And he says, I heard your mother's dying. I said, yeah, she's dying. And then he said, you need answers why she's dying. Can you help her? And you will not find it in this building. He said, you need to go in Asia. He said, don't worry, I will meet you in New Delhi. I'll take care of everything. We will go to the Himalayas. And I said, okay, I will. And I agree in 1 minute. Immediately I went to spend 6 months in Asia. So this is called Pine Hall. Generally, pine is a tree, but this is the name of the family, and they donate the money. So each building has the family's name. My dormitory is Dodd Hall. This mainly foreign languages. So I studied Russian through that door. I don't know 1 word, and I was stubborn, and I took 5 years total. And I don't know why. Then I found out the biggest collection of Asian books in the world at that time is in St. Petersburg. And they have also the biggest collection of Dunhuang books. So I went there, you know, I said, we want to make a database with your books. And the University of St. Petersburg has 8,000, but also earlier explorers. And they have 141,000 books. And they don't have catalog. And they don't allow anyone to go in. I want permission to catalog. I sit down with these fat cats and we fight. And then I start speaking Russian to them. And they're like, oh. Then they say, okay, you can do it. And they give permission. Me and John Brady, our team spent 12 years there in the library. And we cataloged 141,000. These are 2 tigers. Every child who comes to this university wants to sit on there. And it's very fun to sit there. It's called a Bengal tiger, northeast India. And that's where the great Buddhist universities are located. 1,000 years ago. It's called Nalanda, Vikramashila. Very, very, very famous. Shenzong studied there. And these tigers are from there. So it's a special tiger and very powerful and very intelligent. So every university has a mascot or animal. And we discussed it for a long time. And we would like to steal the tiger for DSEU because powerful, intelligent, and good
而
debater.
且也是很厉害的辩论者。
And so our mascot is tiger, right?
所以我们的吉祥物就是老虎。
This area was important during the Revolutionary War, like 1775. So they held their first meetings here, and they signed, they signed the Declaration of Independence. So that's Nassau Hall. Then in my time, 50 years ago, there was an old painting inside, and it's three old guys with a long beard, and they are sitting in an empty cow field on a folding table. And they are signing the agreement to build this university and to buy the land. So when we were standing together in Sedona, I feel like that. Okay, so you guys all have to grow a beard.
对，你们都得。
Okay, let's walk this way. Goal here is the pursuit of excellence. And that was drilled into us, And the definition of that excellence is that it helps society. The code word here is in the service of the world. So whatever you do, whatever excellence you reach is for helping the world. And I really like that. And I think it's a good spirit. We call unashamedly. I'm very proud to knock off this attitude. I'm very proud to emulate this attitude of excellence and to serve the world. We like to call it make other people's dreams come true. Maybe that would be a good byline for our university, but the purpose of the university, I think that's great. Yeah.
Our motto is touch of wisdom, light for the world. Maybe we can add a line.
That can be the unofficial
one. May other people's dream come true.
That is spreading the light, I think. Yeah.
That is spending the light.
Yeah.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome everyone who is joining us today. Welcome, and I'm happy to meet you today. I will be your host. My name is Dinara Mindesheva. I am connecting with you from Toronto, from Canada. And please write in the chat, which parts of the world are you connecting with us today? Which country or which town are you connecting with us today? It will be really nice to learn where you are coming from today, where you are connecting with us today. Today will be, oh, I see, great, Costa Rica, Russia, Malaysia, also Russia, Turkey, wow, Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is my hometown. Home country, Texas, Bulgaria, St. Petersburg, Turkey, wow, Mexico, wow, Hanoi, Vietnam, wow, in Vietnam, I know it's very late for you guys. Thank you for joining. Sorry, I see that I'm breaking up a little bit. Let me maybe switch off my second computer so it's not on the way. Kyrgyzstan. Russia, yay, so great, so great. And I'm from Canada. And I saw we have some people, from Texas as well, from this part of the world. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this special webinar where we want to invite you to become a part of our DSEU class. So what does it mean? It means that we want to share with you on how we conduct our classes. This thing, we never did it before for the English and other languages speaking audience. We did something similar for Chinese speaking audience. So this is our first time when we are sharing this type of webinar with you. Basically, what you will see today is you will see our Eastern classes, part of them, and our Western classes. And you will be able to understand for yourself how is it to be a part of DSEU? What does it mean to sit in DSEU class, right? By the way, who knows what DSEU means? Hi, Tracy. Great to see you. Canada, US. Yay, great. By the way, tell me, please, what do you know? What DSEU mean? What does D stands for? S, EU. Diamond, true, diamond. And then silk, right? S. And then entrepreneur, university. Let me share my slides with you so I can also show you visually, support you visually. Do you see my slide? Do you see the whole thing? Okay. Let me also see the chat. Yay, cool, amazing. Welcome again, everybody. And thank you for sharing where you're from. Maybe you can also share which industry you are in, because you know our university is related to business, right? And we want to foster entrepreneurs. We want to help them to start their own businesses if they haven't started, their businesses which are based on ethical principles. So please share which industries are you? Healthcare practitioner, hospitality, NGO, non-governmental organization. Wow, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing. And are you a business owner yourself? Or are you working for somebody? Or maybe you have a dream to create your own business. Maybe that's your idea. Please share that one as well. Yes, business owner. Wow, exciting. Wow. Thank you. I'm so happy to be in this great circle of business owners. And if you just want to, like Huyen, right? Sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. If you just want to open your business, you are in the right place. We will share with you some of the wisdom that we have in the DSEU. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And please keep writing if you still didn't write your business, or if you are which industry you are in, and I'll continue with my slides. So yeah, as I said, our logo, official motto of the university is Torch of Wisdom, Light for the World. At the same time, our unofficial motto, we can say, is that we are building ethical leaders for the new world. And today is not just about the learning. It's about building the future. This program that we have in DSEU and programs that we have, they are not just the program. And today's webinar, it's not just a webinar. This is the opportunity to change your life, to change life of each one of you who is watching it now and who will watch it in the future. And it is also the opportunity to change the lives of those who are working with you, those who you will impact in the future. So imagine this is a great opportunity. So maybe before we continue, you can set an intention inside of you for the next almost 2 hours that we will spend together. Maybe you can set an intention. Why are you here? What is important for you? And again, thank you so much for joining us from all around the world. And remember, please, you are here not by accident. You are here because in the future itself needs new kind of leaders that are more kind, that are more ethical, and are thinking about the whole world, not only about themselves. So that's actually the big question that we in the DSEU also ask ourselves. What is the kind of leader that we will need in our world tomorrow, right? So let's try to answer maybe those questions. If you have those answers, you can already start sharing in our chat. I want to have our conversation today as interactive as possible. Especially, we will have today a special test, I would say, to understand what is your conflict type. So please be as interactive as possible today. And my next question to you, actually, before we go into the main meat of our webinar today, I want to ask you, what brought you here? Like, are you here to learn something new? Are you here to grow? Are you here to lead or to discover? Please choose one, two, three, or four and write it in the chat. Which one, which of the answers suggest? Maybe you will have your own answer. Also, please share number five, right? Also, please share with me here today. And I would love to hear which one is curious. Yay, curious. That sounds great. I see one to learn. Amazing. Thank you. Please keep sharing, and we will understand what is what is your main idea why you're here? To become a leader, Xenia says. To learn, Ivo. Number three, to lead. Yay. Roxana is doing double things. She's translating. Thank you, Roxana. And thank you to everyone who is translating and delivering you this, connecting us today together. Alexei says that it's interesting about the university, and because he's here first time. Great, amazing. So let's explore together how DSEU answers these big questions, right, about leaders of tomorrow. Before we go there, Elena wants to plant seeds to study at DSEU. That's also great. If you want yourself to study in DSEU or for your kids to study here, for your relatives, I think it's also a great idea to be here and to support DSEU. That's why we create these connections. That's how we create these connections. And let's check how well you know about DSEU. I have this interesting picture for you. And I have a question for $50, 50 US dollars. Please tell me, what does it mean? What does this picture mean in your understanding? In your chat, I will be checking who is the first one and who can answer it the fullest. What does this arrow means? These arrows means? Why does it has this globe inside? East and West, future and past. Nice, I like it. East and West. Connection between East and West. Yay. You all caught about the connection between East and West. Yes, one of our missions in the DSEU, right, is to connect the two worlds, the Eastern world and the Western world. Evgeny writes connection between East and West, past and future. How can you say it in a little bit differently, past and future? You are almost right. I saw Sivon also wrote it like past and future. How can we say it a little bit differently? Any ideas? Ancient and modern. Yay, Sivon, you won. You won $50. Yay, let's congratulate her and be joyful about her winning. Sivon, please write me. I know that you have my contact. Please write me and send me your coordinates so I can send you the money. Yes, you guys are almost all right. It means East and West, right? We are connecting the two worlds, the two big wisdoms, Western knowledge and Eastern wisdom. And also we take modern business, for example, or modern knowledge, modern technologies, everything that we have in our modern world. We bring them together with ancient wisdom, because ancient wisdom still works. It does work. It was working for 2,500 years and it still works. So we want to use it. So that's why we say bringing ancient wisdom and modern business, right, together. And because this is the business university, so we want to combine it all together and create this kind of future leaders who can combine all the wisdom for the complete world, right? Not only the eastern, well, sorry, not only the western part, but also combine it with eastern one. Yeah, and we want to create a new generation of ethical global leaders, right? That's why we have this globe inside of the compass, I would say. So yeah, DSEU blends East and West, wisdom and action. And we are here, like, where business meets the wisdom, right? And I personally, I feel it in the business. I'm not in business myself, but I feel it that current leaders, they are in need of something deeper, because some of them don't, some of them see that the previous old tools, they don't work. So they are starting to look for something new. I don't know if you feel it or not. Let me know in the chat, especially those who are already in business or trying to build their own business. Let me know. And DSEU's vision is to build those leaders who can change the world, not only through profits, right, generating profits, but also through the purpose. So we are trying to develop those leaders who will think about the purpose as well, not only about the profits. And our mission is global. We want to create a new generation of ethical entrepreneurs and thoughtful leaders. So that's the big idea. And actually, everything is coming from the three main or fundamental sources that we have. If also next time maybe I ask you for to win some money, you can memorize this one for yourself. The three fundamental sources that we have for the DSEU is actually in these three pictures, right? And I can ask you actually what three pictures means, because I'm sure you are all very knowledgeable people and you know what these three pictures mean. So the first one at the bottom left is the Princeton University. The Pine Hall is a representation of the Western knowledge, right, of the Western University. This is the hall where Geshe Michael studied in Princeton University. So it represents the Western knowledge. The bottom right, we see here beautiful mountains. This one represents the Eastern knowledge, right? Probably John Grady with his team went to one of these beautiful temples to collect some books and preserve them. So this picture represents here Western ancient wisdom. Sorry, Eastern ancient wisdom. And on the top here, this is the building of Undine International, which represents the combination, right? The combination of the two, where Geshe Michael used his Eastern and Western knowledge that he learned during many years of his studies. He learned them together and he applied them to build a successful business. So these three are the main fundamental sources for DSEU, because it relates to business. We want to bring all these two types of knowledges into business and make them work together for the benefit of the whole world. So yeah, just next time I ask you, just feel free to quickly answer this question. Let me see what I have next. Aha, this is actually the continuation of the previous slide. Here we have beautiful pictures of our great professors. On the left, we have our 4 great professors who already taught in our previous cohort, and they are here representing the Western knowledge, right? And the Eastern part, as you can see, we have Geshe Michael, Professor Stanley, and President Zhou Xiaoping. They are 3 of them representing Western wisdom. So this is a nice visual of what we discussed before. Let's go and check what we are here, what we can see next. And here it's actually what I mentioned before, Diamond Silk Entrepreneur University. And mostly I want to connect here again about the connection, right? From east to west, the Silk Way, remember the Silk Road metaphor? Not once, many years ago, the Silk Road was connecting east and west. And there were also a lot of business people, right, who were doing business between the two parts of the world. And the whole road was connecting them together. There was exchange of knowledge, exchange of wisdom, exchange of different tips, tools, etc. So they use the Silk Road to make that exchange to happen, right? Yes, and diamond, I don't think you need to like additional explanation why diamond, right? Because we know this deep concept, deep philosophical concept, and that's why our university has the diamond in the name. As for the entrepreneur, actually, it's not only about business. What entrepreneur means is there are several meanings to this one. First one is the real life application. So you can take this wisdom and you can take the combination of the two wisdoms and you can apply it right away in the world and bring all the good to the world. That's the first one. Secondly, it's also about innovation because entrepreneurs, they have to be innovative. They have to think out of the box. They have to create something new all the time to attract new audience, to bring it to more and more people. That's why we have this name. We have this word in our name, in the name of the university. Okay, great. Let's see what I have prepared next for you. Actually, I have a question. From what you just now heard, what part of the DSEU's mission resonates most with you? This is the question to you. And as I invited you in the beginning, I invite you to be more interactive and just write a couple of words from your side. What does actually resonate most with you at this moment from what you know, from what you've heard from me or maybe earlier? Just one word or a phrase. Promoting ethical business. Yes, Yvonne, I love it myself as well. Yeah. Make others' dream come true. Yes, that's also amazing. Yeah. That's the second unofficial motto of our university. Make others' dream come true. Yay. And maybe I was a little bit dry while I was explaining to you all these words and all this mission and vision. I want to actually for you to experience it yourself. And I want you to show the path of our students. And we prepared a short video for you. So please be ready. This is about our first cohort who recently graduated from your university. And welcome to watch.
对大家来讲，我相信应该是一个好消息。
先找线上的同学吧，不线下的同学。
记得那一幕，当时小平老师站在我们面前，然后我们坐在那个大操场上，小平老师他就像是一个那个烛光一样的，我觉得他就是在燃烧自己。
他说：“当我走进你的时候，我原本只是想收获一缕春风，但是你却给了我整个春天。”
人生中像这样的导师遇见是不容易的。生命变得看到了希望，所以我需要格西老师这样的一个明白的人来告诉我，你该这么活，你要做什么。
那个光一下子就照到你心里边，就点燃了。当你有希望的时候，你不想再回到那个黑暗，一直就想追着那个光走。
我如果此生想送给孩子一件礼物的话，那我认为金大就是我给他的最好的礼物。
就是很荣幸我有成为第一届的先锋班的学员，
因为我们今天能够在这边绝对不是偶然。
给到我的一个重大的礼物，
是带领更多的人去探索
很多一张一张的画面。
往回看，也会觉得这是你做的最重要的决定。
所以我们也在影响这个世界的一个历史。
Today, Mr. Oligawa asked me how many students you have.
今天有陈先生问我你有多少学生
I think it's about 200,000.
我认为差不多有20万名学生。
But my favorite ones are in this room.
但我最喜欢的学生在这个房间。
Thank you. Thank you for your attention. And please share in the chat just one word on how you feel after seeing this video. What are your feelings? Wonderful, inspiration, strong. Yay. Thank you so much. Love, inspiring. Yeah, it does. It does inspire. I was also was admiring the whole path of these students. Almost 2 years they went through, and it was hard for some of them. I definitely know it, but they did it. And next time, I think in 2 weeks, I will invite another. We will have another webinar, and I will invite one of the students to share her path. So please don't miss that webinar. We will definitely send invitations. Inspirations to tears. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. So let us continue then, and let us see and experience the real DSEU class, right? That's why we're here. And just to give you a little bit of preview, we will start with our Western class. It will be a short one. Unfortunately, we don't have much time. We don't have much time to share the whole class with you. It will be about 18 minutes, I think, and it will be a Western part of the class. And the class is called Understanding and Resolving Conflict. So we will share the Western class first. Then we will do a short questionnaire. There will be several questions that you will answer to understand what type of style of conflict resolution style you personally have. It will be very interesting, I'm sure. So while you are watching, also prepare some notepads or maybe something to write on and a pen, so you can make the test after this video. And now I invite you to the Western class. And if Amy can help me with the video of Dr. Roxanne. Thank you.
So today we're going to talk about conflict.
所以今天我们会讲到一些冲突。
If you're not awake, you'll see this when you wake up.
如果你没有睡醒，看到冲突，你应该睡醒了。
So today we're going to talk about conflict, the different styles of conflict, and we're going to eventually end up with some different strategies for resolving conflict.
所以今天我们会看到冲突不同的类型，以及最后我们用不同的策略来去解决这些冲突。
You know, I want to take a moment and remind everybody
我想花一点时间，然后来提醒大家。
that in the West, we like to use models and frameworks.
在西方，我们有很多的模型和框架。
And so we like to build a lot of things to explain human nature.
所以我们想要去构建一些东西来解释人性。
But very rarely do we say one is better than the other.
但是我们很少会说一种会比另一种更好。
We like to say in the West that the benefit of knowing all these models and frameworks and concepts is that you have a lot of tools in your tool belt.
我们在西方我们会说，当你知道这些不同的模型和框架的时候，你就会在你自己的工具箱里边有很多可用的工具。
And sometimes the best tool to use depends on the job.
很多时候，最好的工具取决于工作的内容。
So I just wanted to get that out there because we're going to learn about a lot of different conflict resolution styles today.
所以我只是想先跟大家说到这个，因为我们今天会学到很多不同化解冲突的方式。
So conflict, for our purposes, is defined by a lack of agreement.
所以对于我们来说，冲突的定义是缺乏共同认知的一种方式，
or a lack of harmony.
或者是缺乏和谐的一种状态。
So people aren't getting along. There's disruption.
所以人们他们没有能够很好的在一起，他们之间有一些冲突。
But as we've talked about in some of our cases, as we examine a lot of organizations, conflict doesn't always have to be negative.
但是当我们在一些案例研究之前所说到的，冲突并不一定是一个负面的事。
It can be an opportunity to use communication and dialogue to seek resolution, innovation, and different alternatives.
它可以变成是通过利用之间的沟通，变成产生创新的想法的来源。
Conflict usually erupts because a person needs to be heard. They want to be understood.
一般冲突的产生是产生于一个人想要被倾听的愿望。
They need to be heard because they want to be validated. They wanted people to understand their point of view.
冲突一般它的产生是因为来自于人们对于被认可的渴望，同样以及他们希望被听到。
So we're going to talk about what are some basic causes of conflict. Where does it come from?
所以我们会讲一些冲突的根源，它来自于哪里？
And it arises from different and incompatible concerns or desires.
所以它是源于很多不同的观点或者是需求，这些需求是不可被调和的。
Now, as a leader, it's really important to address problems at the beginning.
作为一个领导者，非常重要的一点是在问题的初期就解决问题。
It's typically easier to resolve conflict in the beginning than once it escalates.
一般来说，在冲突的初期解决问题，远比在它激化之后再解决来的更容易。
Once it escalates, it becomes more entangled.
一旦它激化，它就会变得更加的彼此交错。
And people become more entrenched.
然后人们就会更在应激对战的状态当中。
We're also going to talk a little bit about change.
我们同样也会讲到一些关于变化的内容。
Because as you lead your organization and your companies through change and innovation, that's hard for some employees.
因为当你带领你的公司在经历变化和创新的时候，对于某些公司的员工其实是有一定的挑战。
So change is a cause of stress and conflict for employees in the workplace.
所以在职场当中，很多时候产生的变化和变革，对于员工也是他们压力的来源。
So some common categories of conflict
所以一些常见的冲突的来源
include values conflict,
它其中包括价值观的冲突。
where our preference, our principles, or our values may be different.
当我们的倾向、我们的原则、我们的价值观不同。
In America, you see this a lot over politics.
在美国，你会在政治当中看到很多这样的例子。
People become very set in their political preference and are even unable to talk to other people.
人们非常扎根于某一种政治的观念当中，有些时候甚至不愿意跟另外一个观点的人对话。
They're unable to have a conversation in a professional manner.
他们没有办法以一个非常专业的方式去进行对话。
Power.
权力冲突。
Another category of conflict.
是另一种冲突的来源。
When maybe David and I have unequal power and I'm trying to exert mine.
就比如说 David 和我们两个人有不同的权力的能力，然后我尝试想要让我的权力继续上升。
Economic conflicts. This can occur in the workplace as well.
而经济冲突同样也会在工作场合当中出现。
Because people are competing for limited resources.
因为人们总是会竞争那些稀缺的资源。
Interpersonal conflict.
人际冲突
is when we have different communication styles or different work styles or different decision-making styles.
因为我们之间可能有不同的沟通、不同的决策，或者是不同的做事的方式。
Now, we learned a couple of months ago that diversity really increases innovation and decision-making and teamwork.
我们在几周前学到，不同的多元化会真的提升整个团队的创造性、创新以及团队协作。
But it can also increase conflict.
但是它同样也有可能增加冲突。
Because if we're different, we have to take the time to get to know each other.
因为我们如果是不同的，我们需要花点时间，我们才能真的认识对方。
Organizational conflict.
而组织冲突
Maybe I don't like who I report to.
有可能我不喜欢我在向上汇报的那个人。
Or maybe the person that reports to me doesn't want to report to me.
或者向我汇报的那个人不想给我汇报。
Or they report to David and I keep coming over asking them to do work for me.
或者他们应该向 David 汇报，但是我一直在过去让他们给我汇报。
And environmental pressures.
或者是环境的冲突。
These are usually pressures that come out at you from outside the company.
这通常是从组织之外向你而来的。
Political regulations, competitors.
比如说政策的变动，或者是有其他的竞争者。
So all of these factors.
这些所有的因素。
And more can cause conflict.
这些所有的因素，可能还有更多的因素加在一起，都会造成冲突。
So we have to remember that employees spend a lot of time working together.
所以我们需要记住，员工他们之间会花很长时间在一起工作。
But everybody comes to work with different opinions, different viewpoints, different communication styles, decision styles, values.
所以每一个人来到工作，他们都有自己不同的观点、不同的想法、不同的沟通方式、不同的决策方式。
But even though we come with different ideas, different perceptions, and expectations, we're expected to work together to get the job done.
即使我们有不同的想法、不同的决策方式，但是我们依然的对于我们的需求是我们一起工作，然后把这个工作做好。
Now we learned in a previous class that forming is a big part of teamwork.
我们在之前的课程上面学过，组成这个构建团队是在团队协作当中非常重要的一部分。
And as a leader, it's important not to skip this step.
而作为一个领导者，不要略过这一部分，这是很重要的。
Because in forming teams, you establish expectations.
因为当我们组成团队的时候，我们就构建了对于团队的期待。
And a lot of the conflict in teamwork starts when expectations are not established and communicated.
而很多时候，当领导者的期待没有被传达给团队的时候，就会造成很多后续的冲突。
So as a leader, it's really good to be clear on what the expectations are for people, for the work, for meetings, for the outcome, for the decision, for the product, for the timeline.
所以说，对于一个领导者来说，非常重要的是要在，比如说对于开会，对于什么时候取得产品，然后对于什么时候进行生产，对于这一切都会要有非常明确的预期。 要传达给团队。
Okay, so Kenneth Thomas is one of the philosophers that we refer to in the West when it comes to conflict.
当我们在西方提到冲突的时候，我们经常会提到的一个哲学家叫肯尼斯·托马斯。
And he identified 5 styles for handling conflict.
然后他提出了5种冲突的类型。
He is mentioned in almost every single book that talks about conflict.
他几乎在任何一本谈到和冲突相关的书的时候，他都会被提到。
So his research led to an assessment to identify your most preferred conflict management style.
所以说，他的研究让他研发了一种工具，可以让你去看到你最常用的冲突解决的方式。
So he believes through his research that discovering your preferred style helps you better understand all the styles at your disposal and which one to pick for which situation.
他的研究让你能够通过研究你自己最擅长的那个冲突的习惯，去理解你所拥有的所有不同解决冲突的方法，以及你可以选择哪一个。
You know, in the West, and I think I've said this before, in the West, we very rarely say this is the one way, the only way.
所以我们在西方，我们很少说这是唯一可行的道路。
It's about adding to your tool belt and knowing which tool you can use for which job.
这是给你的工具箱里面加上很多不同的工具，然后每一项工作可以用不同的工具。
So he basically has 2 dimensions.
所以它基本上的工具有2个维度。
Assertiveness.
自我的主张度。
How much you want to satisfy your own goals.
你有多大的愿望想要去满足自己的目标。
And cooperativeness.
以及合作性。
How much you want to help the other individual and their goals.
你有多想满足另外一个人、他人的需求。
So cooperativeness is more concerned with relationship. Assertiveness is more concerned with me.
所以合作性更关注的是关系，而自我主张度更多的是关注于我自己。
So he identified 5 major conflict management styles.
所以他发现了5种不同的冲突行为。
Competing, we're in competition.
首先是竞争，我们之间在竞争。
High assertiveness, low cooperation.
自我主张度高，但是合作性低。
Competing, I want to win.
竞争就是我想赢。
Accommodating.
第2是迁就。
Not assertive, but very cooperative.
非自我主张，但是乐于合作。
Avoiding.
第3个是回避。
Unassertive and uncooperative.
既不自我主张，但是同样也不合作。
Collaborating.
协作。
Assertive, but also cooperative.
有自我主张且乐于合作。
Compromising.
而最后一个是妥协。
It's between assertive and cooperation. Nobody gets everything they want. I give some, you give some.
它是在自我主张和合作性之间，就是没有人都完全得到自己想要的，我得到了一些，你得到了一些。
Now remember I said it depends on the situation?
大家还记得我说它是基于不同的情况吗？
So the one I would probably not be likely to use would be number 3, avoiding.
所以我大概率不会使用的是第3个，回避。
Because avoiding means I just don't want to deal with it, I hide.
因为回避就是我不想面对它，我就躲起来。
But let's say I have a very good client.
但是比如说我有一个非常好的客户。
That is one of our largest orders throughout the year.
它是我们这一年最大的订单。
And they ask for something.
然后问我们要一些东西。
That is not so far out of the ordinary that I can do it.
这个不是特别超乎寻常的东西，我们能做到。
And it would be a goodwill gesture.
这同样也是向他表达善意的方式。
I wouldn't avoid.
我不会回避。
I wouldn't say, no, I didn't get the email, I don't hear you.
我不会说我没有收到你的邮件，我听不见你。
I would probably be accommodating.
我大概会迁就他。
I would say, you know what, you're a good customer.
我说你是我的很好的一个客户。
We're able to help you this one time and do this for you.
我们这回能帮你，然后为了你。
And it would be our pleasure.
这是我们的荣幸。
So there isn't a good or bad style here. It really depends on the situation.
所以在这里边没有一个好或者是坏的方式，只有取决于情况。
Now let's say there was an emergency at work.
现在比如说在工作场合有一个紧急突发事件
that required immediate action,
需要你马上当下就处置，
then I would probably take a very assertive stance.
那这个时候我的自我主张度可能会很强。
If it was an emergency, I wouldn't create a group and have a discussion.
如果是一个紧急事件，我可能不会创建一个小组，然后我们来小组讨论。
I would be more assertive. Team A, you do this. Team B, you do this. Let's all get it done.
我会比较自我主张，比如说 A 组你做这个 ，B 组你做这个，我们一起把这件事情做完。
So it kind of depends on the situation, right?
所以它确实会取决于情况，对吗？
So here is what they look like
所以这就是他们的样子。
in terms of achieving the goal, low to high, and importance of relationship,
在达成目标的重要性和关系的重要性，
low to high.
从低到高。
So collaborating is, in theory, the best one because both parties get what they want.
所以协作双方共赢就是理论上来讲最好，因为双方都得到了自己想要的。
Competing, you're going to satisfy your own interest, but you're going to jeopardize the relationship with the other party.
而竞争呢，你满足了自己的需求，但是会威胁到你和另外一方之间的关系。
I mentioned avoiding is probably the one that I wouldn't use.
我和大家说过，回避可能不是我会使用的一个方法。
And that's because in avoiding, nobody wins.
因为在回避当中，没有任何一个人是赢家。
You don't want to talk about it.
你
You don't want to resolve it.
不想你谈论它，然后大家都觉得不行。
So it's just important to realize that the style really depends on the situation.
所以很重要的一点是要理解，这个风格是取决于所处的情境。
Even Kincaid, the theorist, was reluctant to say there's a best style.
即使是作为刚才我们提出理论的理论家，他也没有去说哪个是最好的。
He did say he thought some were more effective than others.
他确实说觉得有一些比另外的更有效。
Yes, sorry to cut it here. As I said, we don't have much time to show you the whole video, but I think you were able to catch at least the essence. Let me share what actually Professor shared, this chart, and by looking at it, before you do the questionnaire, just think which type of mode do you usually take when it comes to conflicts. And by the way, when we talk about the conflicts, I know that here we teach about conflicts in business, potential conflicts in business, maybe inside of your organization. But also think about other conflicts maybe that you have in your life, maybe the conflicts that you see around. So what would be your preferred style to respond to those conflicts while you are watching at this chart? So I will give you a few seconds and maybe share it in the chat. Which one do you think is the most popular for you? Win-win strategy, yay! Which one is that? Is it a compromise? Collaboration, I like it, yay! That's the most inherent, I would say, right, for you. I know that we are all now more wise and we would prefer to use some other like collaboration. I also like it, but I know that I don't do collaboration most of the time, unfortunately. Sometimes when I need to things get done, I would go into the competition mode or something like that. That's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So just think about it before we go into the actual questionnaire. And now you can share it in the chat or maybe just write it for yourself. And now let's go and check and understand which type are you, right? So there will be a series of questions that I will have them on the slides here in English and in Chinese. But in other languages, I will ask the translators to share them in the chat. So also other languages can also read the questions and understand them for themselves. So now I invite you to be very attentive, look at the questions, and what you need is to, like, first part of this that you see in front of you is we need to rank these 5 statements in the in a way that one is, yes, I agree, this is me. And secondly, no, this is not me, right? So 1 to 5, for example, if I say conflict is a game with winners and losers, is it my statement? If it's definitely 100% my statement, then I give it 1, right? I would say I most strongly agree with it. If it's not my statement at all, then I give it 5, for example, that it's not me at all, right? And the idea here is to rank these 5 statements from 1 to 5. 1 being, yes, this is me. I do it most often. This is part of me. And 5 is being, no, this is not me. It doesn't relate to me, right? So please rank all of them. So in front of each statement, you will have a number from 1 to 5, right? So for example, if conflict is a game with winners and losers, is somewhere in between for me, right? It's not 100% yes or 100% no for me. So maybe I will write 3 here, right? So it's somewhere in between. So if conflict is a mess, which makes me uncomfortable, if it resonates with me fully, I would put 1, right? So in front of every statement, please put a number. I see Kalina wrote 5 and Tracy wrote 4, but please write a number in front of everyone. We need to rank them. We need to put a number in front of each. So 1 to 5. This is the first part of the test. Thank you, translators, for sharing these answers in your languages, these questions, sorry. 1 to 5. For example, if conflict represents an opportunity for improved decision-making for me, right? And this is my statement, I like it, then I would put 1 here. If it's like, okay, I do it sometimes, maybe I put 3 or maybe I put 2. So basically what you will have as a result is 2 rows, 2 columns with numbers, 2 columns with numbers. In one column, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the second column, there will be a number from 1 to 5, but not necessarily like in the same order. This is the first part. So I will give you, yay, Tracy, you got it. Yeah, 1 is 2, 2 is 3. 5 is 2. So for example, for Tracy, her number 1 would be conflict is a bump in the road, which needs smoothing out, right? So this would be her most preferred action or thinking about the conflict. And the least preferred one would be as the conflict is a game with winners and losers. Thank you, Tracy. I'm using you as example so everyone can understand. If you have a question, please write in the chat before we go into the second part. I see that for Spanish and for Russian languages, we have the question, the translation in the chat. If you need the translation, go into the chat and use it. Yay, Huen Luan Gok. Sorry if I pronounce your name correctly, but thank you for sharing. Yay, Ksenia. Roxana, thank you for your answers as well. Okay. Yeah, Kalina, I think you got it. So 1 would be number 4 for you, and then you just need to write it down for the rest of the 4. It's okay, don't worry. You can write it just for yourself if you're mistaken somewhere. And I will give you 10 more seconds with this part of the questionnaire. Okay, so let's go further. Let's go to the next one. The second part would be, there will be several questions from number 6 to number 18, I think. And not questions, sorry, statements. And in front of every statement, you need to put a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1 being that, yes, I strongly agree with this statement. This is my statement. I do it that way. Or 5 is, no, I disagree with this statement. I never do this. It's a very bad for me, right? Something like that. If you don't know, if you kind of agree, you can put 2. If you just kind of disagree or not strongly, then you put 4 in front of it, right? Or if you are undecided or in between, like 50-50, then you can put number 3 in front of this question. So basically, again, you will have 2 columns here, and there will be a question number or statement number, sorry, statement number, and in front of it there will be a number whether you strongly agree with this statement. It will be then 1, or maybe you just agree, it will be 2. If you undecided, it will be 3. If you disagree, it will be 4. If you strongly disagree, it will be 5. So this is the first part of these questions. There will be 5 more on the next PowerPoint. And thank you, translators, for sharing it in your languages. You can see in Russian and other languages, in Spanish. So let's see. I try to avoid situation where I expect heated controversy. Yeah, that's probably about me. I would say I don't like heated controversy. Then I would say maybe I strongly agree, right? So I would put 1 in front of number 6. Please write it down for yourself somewhere because chat is moving. Our chat is moving. You need to save it somewhere because we will combine all the answers later. Kalina, I see number 1. Okay. And you go up to number 13, right? Other people often improve my ideas. If your thinking is close to this one, then put 1 or 2. Or if you disagree, for example, you would say, no, I don't like improving my ideas. My ideas are always right. Then maybe you are disagreeing with number 13. Then put 4 or 5. Yay, Janice, you are so quick. Thank you. Who needs more time to these 6 to 13 statements? And maybe from time to time you can recall your intention. Why are you here? Why are you joining this webinar? Okay, I think you are all done with 7 to 13. I will go further because we need to move to the next part of the questions. Oh, sorry, there are 20. I thought there were in 18. So these are the next, it's the same approach. It's just number 14, 15, 16, up to 20. So again, in front of these statements, please put 1 to 5. All is fair in love, war, and conflict, for example, you can say. Then, if you agree with this statement, you put 1. If you disagree, strongly disagree, you put 5. I know that for some people it's hard to quickly decide which one is mine, which one is not mine. Maybe then you can make a screenshot and come back to these questions later. So for now, just try to think, what's the first answer that comes to me? Do I strongly agree? Maybe I disagree. Maybe I'm undecided. And I'm reminding you that we are now currently in a Western class. This is a model of Thomas Killing, I think, if I'm right with the name. Thank you for sharing. I would love to see your results at the end, especially, you know, it's interesting when first you thought that you are, for example, I am a collaborator, but as a result, I would be not a collaborator, but a competitive person or something like that. It would be fun. For me, at least. I don't know how it's for you. Okay, who needs more time with this part of the questions? Let me give you 10 more seconds. Yay, Tracy, thank you for sharing. And just in case, I will go through the previous slides. Maybe you want to make screenshots of them, this one and the previous one, just to come back. Although I'm sure this kind of conflict style assessment thing, we can find it in the internet. Okay, great. You all did great. So now let's check. And now we have this kind of scoring sheet. What do? We look at the number of the statement. Here in this table, here, you see the numbers. These are the numbers of the statement. So for example, I look at the number of the statement 1, remember the first one, and I write here my score or ranking, which I gave to this particular statement. So basically what you need to have next to each number here, you need to transfer your numbers from the answers that you made to previous questions, right? So for example, what I see here for Roxana, she said 6 is 1. So I'm looking, this is the question 6. So for Roxana, I would put number 1 in this kind of cell, in this cell, right? 7 is 5, then 7, this is the statement 7, I would put 5 here. Then 8 is 1. 8, statement 8, I would put 1 here, right? That's why I asked you to prepare paper and pens so you can actually count them for yourself. When you write them all up, all the scores that you have next to each statement, you will need to calculate the total for each column here. If it's not clear, please let me know. So for example, I see Kalina, she wrote number 10 is 5. Now, this is the statement number 10, and she gave it 5. So I would write 5 here in this cell. And then I would combine all of them, sum up all of the columns. It's always interesting to understand yourself better and to learn about ourselves better. Natalia is writing 45. Natalia, we need to combine. There will be at the end 5 different numbers. You will have at the bottom 5 different numbers. For example, tough battler is the competition, right? Competitor here. So you will have a score for each type. For avoider, you will have a score. For compromiser, you will have a score. For accommodator, you will have a score. And for problem solver, here it's collaborator in our chart. There will be a separate score. And when you have a score, all 5 scores, I will show you what they mean. So let me know when you have the 5 scores at the bottom of each column. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Surprising, right? But wait till the results. Okay, let me give you 30 more seconds. And do you remember what Professor Dr. Roxanne said about avoiders? I think she said something that it's the least working strategy when we try to avoid all the conflicts. Xenia also calculated. Thank you. 10 more seconds. Right. Okay, let me then. Okay, so let's interpret those scores now. So if you, in those columns where you have scores 4 to 7 score, this is the total, right? It means that this is the marked preference for this particular style. So the less you have, that's your preferred style. Inherent, I would say, probably, or automatic or reactive. Sorry, marked preference. This is would be the preference. This would be the aversion, and the highest one would be marked aversion. So like maybe the least not used strategy. Sorry, the most not used strategy, right? Tracy, what do you think now? So I would say if you are around 8 and 11, that would be your preferred strategy. This is 4 to 7 is like the marked or what else? How else can you say? The most often used. So Tracy, now you're a battler or a competition, right? So now let's go back to our chart. Mealy is asking how to explain when 5 groups of mine mark A to A. So all of them are here, right? Oh, that's interesting. Maybe you are somewhere, you are very maybe agile and you can change depending on the type of conflict, on the person you are having a conflict with. And that's my interpretation. I'm not the author of this test, So I would say that if you are somewhere in, like if you have all the 5 scores somewhere between 8 to 11, so it means I would interpret it that it's depending on the object of the conflict, depending on the person in the conflict, etc., you would prefer different styles. Yeah, and some people are really mixed styles. Maybe we were born mostly with 1 or 2, but then we developed some other styles as well, and that's why we have this mixed. If you remember yourself in the conflict, for example, maybe you can remember that in some conflicts you would avoid going into it. In some conflicts you would go and accommodate, for example, or in some conflicts you would go and actually command and be on the competition side. So it depends. Tracy's in the conflict with her numbers and need to redo it. Yeah, that's already a demonstration of your conflict resolution style, you see? Super. Thank you so much. I think if we come back to this chart again, so remember I asked you to think before you did the questionnaire, where are you? Which part of this chart are you in most of the time? So now after the questionnaire, just compare for yourself. For example, in the beginning, I thought that I'm a collaboration person, but now I realize that I'm a competition person more, right? So it will be something to think about, right? Yeah, Tracy, I understand your feelings, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for this, and I hope it was very insightful for you. I hope it was, even though it's, we usually have a tendency to listen more of the Eastern philosophy, but the Western philosophy and Western models, they can also serve us at least to diagnose where I am right now, at which moment I am right now, right? For example, I think when I did this part, I was in the avoidance, so I would avoid all the conflicts. That's my inherent like strategy, right? But maybe when you develop and when you learn about other philosophies, for example, Eastern philosophy more, you would change it and you would choose other strategies because you are more aware of them now, right? Yes, Yvonne shares gives me a lot to think about. I answered honestly and didn't think I would have a good one, but I came out a compromiser. That's also interesting, you see? Great. And now I invite you to our next class. It's the Geshe Michael's class about also the same topic about the conflict resolution. And I invite you when you listen just to compare and contrast the 2 classes because you already listened the Western part and now try to listen through those lenses. How would you compare these and how would you contrast them to yourself and what conclusions you can take from the both classes? I will ask you to share them after the second class. So thank you for participating in this great questionnaire and I invite you now to the second class. It will be about 20 something minutes. Again, a short class, but very, very insightful, I promise you. So full attention. Thank you.
In my company in New York, I refused to fight with one boss lady.
就是在我的公司发生了一个事情呢，就是我拒绝跟我那个女上司吵架。
But then I noticed she's hurting other people.
后来我意识到那个女上司在伤害他人。
So if you just walk away,
如果你只是走开，
you can stop the suffering of fighting for yourself.
你只能停止自己因为争吵的受苦。
But what do you do if this person's going to hurt other people?
但如果这个人将会伤害到他人，你会做什么？
So what's our responsibility?
那我们的责任是什么呢？
You know, maybe should I protect these other people?
或许我是不是应该去保护其他那些人呢？
Is there even a time and a place when it's proper to stop that person?
是否有一个时间地点，那保护他人是恰当的行为呢？
And I think good people have had this problem for many, many years in this world.
在这个世界上，很多年来，很多好人都会问自己这个问题。
So I want to talk about that.
所以我想谈谈这一点。
Next picture.
下一张图。
My teacher wanted to bring his nephew to America.
我的老师想要带他的外甥去美国。
One of them came earlier.
其中一位就早些来到了美国。
He's my teacher's nephew.
是我老师的外甥。
And so, it's my job to take him around and get him used to America.
我的工作就是带他到处走走，让他熟悉美国。
And we have to go to New York.
当时我们得去纽约。
So we are on a bus.
后来我们那天坐大巴。
Then we hear, some ladies are screaming,
然后听到有位女士在尖叫。
And then the bus stopped and one guy jumped off.
然后那个巴士就停了，然后从大巴上冲下来了一个人。
So he jumped off and he ran and he has her purse.
所以那个男子就从大巴上跳了下来，手里还拿着一个女士的手提包。
Then I said, "Come on, let's get the guy."
我就跟那个老师的外甥说，我们去追那个人。
And finally he dropped the purse.
后来那个人就放弃了手提包，扔在地上， 然后就跑了。
So we got the purse.
所以我们捡起手提包。
We took it back.
然后带回去。
And the lady is so grateful.
然后还给那个女士，女士就很感恩。
And we feel pretty good because we protected somebody.
我们感觉挺不错的，因为我们保护了一个人。
Then we went back to tell my teacher.
后来我们就回去跟我的老师汇报。
We feel like real bodhisattva,
感觉自己很像真的菩萨。
Then we told him the story.
然后我们就跟老师讲了这个故事。
Then he said,
然后老师说
$100 for Rob.
库巴，新都库巴。
$100.
100美金。新都库巴。
Yeah, Madam President get 100.
校长女士得到100美金。
My teacher got very angry.
我的老师就很生气。
And he said, "You guys are so stupid,
他说你们怎么这么蠢
What if that guy have a gun? What if that guy have a knife?
如果那个人有枪呢，有刀呢？
Then you die for some purse,
那你因为一个手提包就丧命吗？
And then I felt, I tried to defend us,
我就想要试着辩护我们的行为。
Come on, teacher, someone hurting somebody.
我就说，拜托老师，有人在伤害另外一个人呢。
It's our responsibility to protect them.
那难道不是我们的责任去保护他吗？
Then he said, actually, it's correct.
然后老师回答说，的确是正确的。
You did the right thing.
你做了正确的事情。
But,
但是
okay, my teacher always say but.
我老师整天就会说 but，
If
但
he
是
praise me, he always says but.
哪怕他表扬我，也总会加一个 but， 但是。
But you cannot protect her anyway.
但是你总而言之，反正你也保护不了他。
If you succeed to get the purse back,
如果你成功拿回那个手提包，
that's not your seed, that's her seed.
那也不是你的种子，是对方的种子。
You are just the instrument of the seed.
你只是对方种子的一个渠道。
Don't praise yourself too much.
不用过分表扬自己。
She had a seed to get her purse back.
她有一个种子可以拿回自己的手提包。
And, she will get, even you are not there, he will bring the purse back.
哪怕你不在那里，那个小偷也会送回手提包的。
So then he said, you cannot protect somebody.
所以老师说，你其实保护不了其他人。
Then I said, okay, so we should not protect people.
好，那我就说，那好吧，那我们就不应该保护别人。
$100. Then what did he say?
然后100美金。接着老师说什么
？$100. Oh, Nuke, Shintokupa.
Nuke 刚回答了，他说他要给 Nuke 100。
Then he said, "You second time stupid."
然后呢，他就说你这是第二次很蠢。
Then I said, "But if she doesn't have seed to be protected, and I try to protect her, then it won't work anyway."
如果他没有被保护的种子，然后我又去保护他，反正也不会有用的。
Then he got really upset.
然后我老师就很生气了。
You have to try.
所以你们要努力，要尝试啊。
And your duty is to try.
你们的责任是在于去尝试。
Then I said, okay, so I should just try.
然后我就说好，那我就只是需要尝试，对不对
If she has seed, she will be protected.
如果那个女士有种子，女士就会受到保护。
If she doesn't have seed, she won't be protected.
如果女士没有种子，女士就不会得到保护。
Then I shouldn't worry too much. I should just try.
所以我不应该太过担心，我需要做的只是去尝试。
Then he got angry again. I don't know. This is my relationship.
然后我老师又生气了，我也不知道为什么，这就是我跟老师的关系。
Then he said.No, sometimes you should fight.
老师说不，有时候你就应该要去抗争。
I said, I understand. I should protect her, but I shouldn't fight.
然后我就说，我明白，我应该去保护她，但我不应该去抗争。
Then he's like, if you don't fight, how are you going to protect her?
然后老师又说了，你不抗争，你怎么保护那个女士呢？
Then I said, I'm confused.
然后我就跟老师说，我已经晕了。
Now you say I should fight.
现在你又说我应该去抗争。
Yes, you should fight.
对呀，你应该抗争呢。
Then I decide, okay, next time I'll fight.
好，我就决定，好，下一次我就去抗争。
Stupid, I didn't say that like that.
然后老师又说，怎么这么蠢？我没有这样说。
You have to fight in a special way.
你应该用一种特别的方式去抗争。
With a special attitude.
用带这种特别的态度。
Should you just let other people hurt other people?
你应该就听任别人伤害他人吗？
No.
不应该。
Should you try to stop them?
你应该试着制止对方吗？
Yes.
是的。
Can you use force?
你能运用武力吗？
If you don't hurt them much.
可以的，前提是你不要过多的伤害对方。
And there was a case in Indian history.
在印度历史上有一个案例。
You know Mahatma Gandhi.
大家知道穆罕默德甘地。
You know, at that time the British controlled their country.
当时印度还受控于英国。
And Mahatma Gandhi wanted to kick them out.
穆罕默德甘地想要把英国人赶出去。
And at that time, many Indians want to use guns and bombs against the British.
那时候很多印度人是想要通过枪炮、枪支把英国人赶出去。
And he said, no, if you do violence to them with guns or knives, you are the same as them.
然后穆罕默德说，如果你同样用枪支、弹药去把他们赶出去，我们跟他们有什么差别呢？
You know, so everybody said, well, how can we get rid of them?
那大家都问，那我们到底应该怎么样摆脱英国人呢？
And he said, ahimsa.
然后他就说非暴力
Non-violent resistance.
非暴力抵抗。
You know, non-violent resistance.
非暴力抵抗。
And he will organize his group.
所以呢，穆罕默德甘地就会把他的人集合在一起。
Like 1,000 people.
比如说上千人。
And they go 10. They prepare 10 people across.
然后呢，就10个人一排。
Then they tell the British leave, you know.
然后他就10个人一排，然后跟英国人说：“你们要离开。”
Then the British are no.
英国人说不。
They have lathi. The British have lathi.
英国人是有拉提的警棍的。
Then the British are like, I think maybe you have to leave now.
英国人说：“或许你现在得离开了。”
Then he's like, no, we won't leave.
然后甘地说：“不，我们不离开。”
Then do you have guns? Do you have knives?
然后英国人问：“你们有枪支吗？有刀吗？”
No, we have our body.
印度人说：“没有，我们只有自己的身体。”
Then they take one step.
然后他们英国人往前一步。
And the British police say, okay, one more step.
是印度人往前走了一步，英国人说：“如果你再走前一步，我们就会用警棍打你们。”
Everybody together cooperate. One step.
所以所有人就很配合的，印度人往前走了一步，甘地的人就往前走了一步。
10 British police.
然后10名英国的警官呢，就用警棍打他们，
break their nose.
就把他的脸啊、手啊都打断了，把牙齿都打断，然后他们就倒下了。
Then they have all the wives are waiting, prepared.
然后他们的太太早就做好准备在等候嘛。
Each one come and drag her husband.
每个人就把自己老公拖走。
To treat him.
去治疗老公。
Then the second line.
然后第2排。然后就往前站，然后又被打。
Then the wife.
然后他们的太太又拖走。
Then the people on the floor are getting more and more.
然后倒地的人就越来越多。
Everybody's bleeding.
每个人都头破血流。
The British also getting angry.
然后英国士兵也生气了，然后就一直打。
Then finally, they got tired.
后来英国警官都打累了。
There's too many people.
因为太多人了。
They each one step up, very brave.
然后每一排的人都很勇敢的往前站。
Hit me here.
都说打我这里，然后就被打。
Then finally the British quit.
后来英国他们就放弃了，英国人放弃了。
Oh man, my arm is hurt so much.
他说：“哎呀，手都打疼了。
You know, I'm so tired.
哎呦，我也好累呀、
must hit 100 guys.
我今天肯定打了上百个人。
Then they left.
然后英国人就离开了，
They left India.
就离开了印度。
And this is nonviolent resistance.
这就是非暴力抵抗。
You have the right to put your body between the thief and the purse lady.
就是你是有权利用你的身体挡在那一个小偷跟那个手提包的主人那位女士之间的。
You have the right to stay nonviolent, but put your body, let the violence come to you.
你是有权利用非暴力的方式的，你可以让用你的身体挡住这个暴力。
And that's the real way to stop violent people.
而这是停止暴力的人的真正的方式。
They left, they never came back.
英国人离开了，他们后来再也没有回去印度。
And they never came back.
后来他们再也没有回来过。
I think we will plant good seeds. We plant good seeds if we are nonviolent.
我认为如果我们没有暴力的话呢，就会种下好种子。
If we refuse to be violent.
如果我们拒绝暴力的话，
I think it also much more brave.
我认为这也要勇敢的更多。
You know, all the army people want to be brave.
所有那一些士兵啊，军队里的人都想要勇敢。
战狼1、战狼2、战狼3。
战狼1、2、3。
Yeah, you'll be 战狼4。
你们就会成为战狼4。
You know, this way we can plant the seeds.
所以我们可以通过这种方式来种下种子。
We change the seeds and the violence stop.
你改变种子，暴力就会停止。
Okay, now.
好，现在
Shanti Deva said,
祭天大师说
I like this one. By the way, this reminds me, can you tell the hotel I need some special help? That's why I think of this picture.
这就是为什么我想到了这一张图。
So I don't know, even in the Westin hotel,
哪怕在威斯汀酒店，
they will give you 2 rolls of paper.
他们只给你2卷厕纸。
But I have a lazy person fixing my room.
有一个懒的服务员来整理我的房间。
He doesn't put 2 rolls back, he only put 1.
每次应该要还回2卷厕纸，他只还了1卷回去。
Then every day it gets the 1 gets less and less, you know.
每一天那个厕纸的量越来越少。
If you ever stayed in the toilet and the paper run out, you know the problem.
所以如果你住过酒店，然后发现厕纸没有了，你就知道发生了什么。
It's an unpleasant problem.
就是厕纸不够用了，这是个不是很愉悦的问题。
Then you have to go to the telephone.
还得去打电话。又很难去打电话。
Okay. Karma is like that.
业力也像这样。
The karma for violence is like 1 toilet paper roll.
暴力的业力就好像1卷厕纸。
It will run out.
它最后会用完的。
Okay, if you don't fight back.
如果你没有抗争的话。
If you are non-violent.
如果你是非暴力的话。
That violence seeds will always wear out.
那个暴力的种子总是会耗尽。
Every toilet paper roll in the universe wore out.
宇宙中的每1卷厕纸都会用完。
Okay, so later when you write Geshe Michael's Sutra,
未来如果你写格西麦克经的话，
I think the title will be The Toilet Paper Run Out.
标题这个经的标题会是厕纸用完，厕纸用尽。
The bad seed, if you don't repeat the violence,
如果你不重复这个暴力，
the bad seed will run out.
坏种子就会用完。
I think this is going to be a whole new book.
我觉得这可以写成一本新书。
DCI Advanced Level 5.
DCI 晋级5阶。
I'll even write it on toilet paper.
我到时设计课程都在厕纸上写。
So when I went to Princeton,
我去普林斯顿就读时
I had 3 jobs.
我就在学校打3份工。
Then the third one is truck driver.
第3份工呢就是开卡车。
So I drove a truck.
我当年有开卡车。
For I don't know many hours.
要开好几个小时。
Then slowly I got promotion.
在那个卡车的公司里得到了晋升。
Then I became the assistant boss of the company.
后来就成为那个卡车公司的助理老板。
Later I became the president of the company.
后来成为那个卡车公司的总运营，像总经理之类的。
When I was the vice president.
当我当上那一家卡车公司的副总裁的时候，学校的卡车公司
I don't know how to do management.
当时我还不懂得做管理。
You know, and the president is a really cool guy.
那个总裁是个很酷的人。
And he teach me how to manage a company.
他教我如何打理公司。
You know, so we had one worker. So this is me on the right side.
右边的代表我，右边这个人代表我。
And the workers on the left side.
左边的代表了你的工人。
And he's this big guy.
那个有一个很壮的大汉。
And then he caused me trouble over and over.
有一个工人整天给我惹麻烦。
And finally I talked to the president. You know.
我终于就跟那个公司的总裁说。
I think I have to fire this guy.
我说我得炒掉这个人。
He's like, if you fire him, you fire him, not me.
然后那总裁说要炒的话，要辞掉他，也是你出面，不是我。因为总裁担心这个工人会打他。
Then I'm like, what?
我说什么
I said, okay, you go to his house and you fire him.
然后那个总裁说，那你自己去他家炒掉他。
Don't fire him here.
不要在这里吵。
I remember I went to his house.
我还记得我走去了他家。
And he opened the door.
敲门，他开门了。
I'm like, hi.
我就跟他说 hi.
You know, and then I said, I have something to tell you.
我有一些东西要告诉你。
He's like, what?
他说什么
I'm like, I'm gonna make you a manager.
我说我要让你当经理。
He's like, what?
他说什么
I said, we decide to make you a manager.
我说我会决定请你当经理或主管啊。
Oh, thank you, thank you.
然后他说谢谢谢谢。
You also get a raise.
而且还给你加薪。
He's like, thank you, thank you.
他说谢谢谢谢。
Then I went back to my boss.
我就去跟我老板说。
He said, did you fire him?
老板问我炒掉他了吗
No, I made him manager.
我说没有啊，我把他变成主管或经理了。
Then what happened?
然后老板说，然后呢
I also gave him a raise.
我还给他加薪了。
He's like, you're crazy.
然后老板说，你疯了吗
He's the worst attitude.
他的态度最糟糕的。
He's a little bit violent.
还有点暴力，其实。
You know, and then I had this moment of insight.
其实是因为当时我有一个洞见。
I will make him my partner.
当时我觉得我要把他变成我的搭档。
We will have a collaboration.
我会跟他合作。
You know, so it happened to me. I learned it very young. I learned it when I was 18 or something.
其实我18岁就学会了，我很早就学会了。
Sometimes your enemy makes a good collaboration.
有些时候，敌人反而可以达成合作。
And I offer it to you as an alternate solution.
我把它今天教给大家，作为大家的一个选择方案、解决方案。
Make a deal with your enemy.
就是你有一个选择，就是跟你的敌人达成合作。
Make a collaboration.
跟他达成约定，达成合作。
Work together.
一起去共事。
There's something about the karma.
这跟业力有关。
If you have the karma to really hate somebody, this karma to really love them is somehow nearby.
就是如果你有业力要去黑一个人的话呢，其实呢，爱他们的爱敌人这个种子就在旁边。
The enemies that you make friends with become friends for life.
你如果能把一个人从敌人变为朋友，你们就可能成为终身的朋友。
Then I just want to say I'm very grateful.
我最后想表示我很感恩。
Mr. Oligawa asked me how many students you have.
今天有川先生问我你有多少学生
I think it's about 200,000.
我认为差不多有20万名学生。
But my favorite ones are in this room.
但我最喜欢的学生在这个房间。
I really, and Mr. Oligawa said, that group is very special.
有川先生跟我说，他说这群学生很特别。
I asked Mr. He's very famous. Mr. Oligawa, tomorrow he has to go to Paris. Next day he has to go to Seoul. You know, he's.
你看有川先生很出名，他很忙，他明天要飞巴黎或者首尔。
I'm like, why you agree to come here?
我就问他为什么答应来我们这里讲座。
He comes for free, by the way.
而且还是没有，也是免费为我们做讲座。
Then I asked him why you agree to come here.
我就跟有川先生说，为什么您会同意来这里
He said, I don't know how many students you have, but those who are here, those guys are amazing.
他说我不知道你全球有多少学生，但是他说在座的这里的学生是很棒的。
I'm happy to come anytime.
他说任何时候我都很开心过来。
I agree.
我也同意他的说
And
法。
it's my honor to come here.
来到这里是我的荣幸，
And I'm very happy.
我非常开心。
Thank you. Thank you, Geshe Michael, and thank you everyone who watched this video. And now I have a question to you. I have a question I wanted to ask you. What did shift in you, or what shifted in you after this video specifically, and also after watching the two videos? What were your insights? What have you learned? I invite everyone to think and share. To me personally, from the last video, I thought that this sentence about seeds with the person that I hate, there is like a very close step to the person I love. So some kind of connection I have with that person. So instead of trying to get rid of that person, I need to look into how to connect with them, maybe make them a manager. Yeah, I know it takes some time to digest. So now you had an experience of the two classes of Western class, and you also did a test, and of the Eastern class. And usually our students, we invite them to then, compare the two classes and then contrast them to see what they are taking it. Thank you for sharing. Let me quickly read your answers. Sivon is saying, I was having doubts about standing up to someone who was doing something unethical, in my opinion. But now I feel I'm doing it. Oops, it's running the right thing. And I got a little more courage to get close to people who are difficult for me. Yay! Sounds great. Hope about change my reality. If I change my attitude, someday violence will turn out. Yes, I fully agree. Mira is writing to love your enemies. If you hate your enemy, it means that there is a karma to love that enemy. And so create some collaboration with them. This is amazing. And Roxana is saying it's amazing how a new generation of entrepreneurs are developing and acquiring the best knowledge, wisdom, and skills of the West and East. Yeah, I fully agree. Thank you. Thank you. So please thinking about it, please digesting it inside for yourself. And I hope it really will shift something big for you. And now I invite you to the next, oops. Yay, let me take some of your time and speak about the two programs. Today I want to speak about the two programs that we have. And I wanted first to speak about Stratosphere Leaders Program. To me personally, it's a very exciting one, and I will show you also the video from Geshe Michael where he will share about this program, and you will understand why it's exciting. But first, I want to tell you that this is the program for those who are, let's say, 40, 45 plus, right? But it's not sticked to the age. It's just some kind of range that you can look into. And it's designed for people who already achieved something, right? Like Geshe Michael says, he had the first part of his life where he studied for his Geshe degree and where he was helping in building the company. And then there was a second part where he started to teach himself, right, for DCI and other companies, and shared the knowledge and bringing this wisdom to more and more people. So for SLP, for potential SLP people, it's the second part of your life, how to make it more exciting. You probably achieved something already. You know how to reach this and that goal. But now you're thinking, how can I make this second part of my life to make it more exciting, more meaningful, more deep, that would help to more people in this world? And if you have these kind of questions, maybe SLP is for you. And let me now share a special message from Geshe Michael. We have a special video from him about SLP. I wanted to share. I don't think anyone saw it here. And yes, Amy, thank you.
A special plan for SLP.
我对 SLP 苍穹领袖计划有一个特别的计划。
Right now, I'm working on a translation.
现在我在做一本翻译。
It's a translation of Nagarjuna.
是关于龙树大师的翻译。
It's the mother book about 空性。
是关于空性的母本，就是源头的意思。
The name of the book is wisdom.
这本书的名字叫般若，或叫智慧。
In this world, it's the greatest book.
我认为这本书是世界上最美的一本书。
And I waited till the end of my life to work on it.
我一直等到我生命的晚期才翻译这本书。
Because it's extremely deep. I want to reach as much information as I can before I translate.
因为它内容很深，我想一直等到我有足够的信息，然后才动笔翻译。
So now I'm working on it.
现在我在翻译这本书。
And I would like to use that for SLP.
我想要用智慧这本书来设计 SLP 的课程。
So I propose a special Stratosphere class.
所以我会设计一个特别的苍穹班的课程。
For special people.
是为专门的特别一群学生设计的。
And it's designed for people who are older or halfway through their life.
它是专门为已经进入人生下半场的比较年长的人设计的。
Already you had your first business.
意思是你已经有了自己的事业了。
And actually, you're wondering what's supposed to come next.
它不是说年龄上的年长，它指的是说你已经有自己事业，你在思考接下来你要做什么。
And as I said the other day.
所以，正如我那一天所说的
，The second half of this life is the first half of your next life.
你此生的下半场是你新生的上半场。
There's a way to continue like that, very beautiful, very, very, very sweet.
有一种非常美妙、甜美的方式，继续这样下去。
And no fear.
而且毫无畏惧的勇往直前。
Very happy.
而且是极其喜悦的方式。
Everything you dream will come.
你梦想的一切都会来到你身边。
That involves in the second half of your life doing some good things for other people.
那这就包含了你的人生的下半场要为他人做一些好事。
So basically, we're going to work on that.
所以基本上我们就会在 SLP 里学这些内容。
But we're going to use Nagarjuna.
但是我们会用龙树大师智慧的这本书。
Then my other friends, they ask me, what about us? You know?
那其他的朋友会问，那我们呢
You refuse to teach us Nagarjuna?
难道你不教我龙树大师的智慧了吗
What comes out of the teacher comes from you.
其实一个老师教出来的内容是由学生决定的。
If you are trying to help other people a lot,
如果你们试着很大的程度上去帮助他人
you will pull Nagarjuna out of the teacher.
你就可以把龙树的教导从你的老师那边汲取出来。
Because of the pen.
是因为笔。
If other people ask me for that,
如果其他人也请我教
even I want to give them,
哪怕我想教
they can't hear it.
他们也听不到的。
So I believe
所以我相信
this group is ready
这个群体的是准备好了的。
for this.
京大的学生是准备好来上这个课的。
So I offer it to you.
所以我就主动提要教你们这个内容。
If you like it, take SLP.
如果你们想上，就来报 SLP。
Then if it's not time for you, it's okay.
如果你觉得现在不是时机，没问题。
My granddaughter,
我的孙女
I give her some candy, you know.
我给了她一些糖果
She goes,
她就尝了一下就扔掉了。
Okay, let's try another one.
我说好吧，换另外一个糖果。然后说
Then the teacher has to give the candy which the people like.
所以呢，老师就要把学生喜欢的糖果给到他们。
Personally, I think all the candy is good.
我个人认为所有的糖果都是好的。
I'm happy to eat all the candy.
我也乐意吃所有的糖果。
Anyway, SLP.
总而言之 ，SLP
it will be special.
会是特别的。
But that's because we worked hard for 8 years or something.
那是因为我们一起努力了8年。
And now everything's ready.
现在一切都准备就绪了。
Yay! Let me know what you think about this idea of Geshe Michael. Show me thumbs up. Who wants to become an SLP student now? Who wants to study Nagarjuna? Arya Nagarjuna. Yay, I see. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. When I heard this news, I was like, wow, this is so exciting. I was so excited for all these SLP students. And there is a chance for you to become an SLP student. I will share the QR code and the codes at the end of our webinar where you can apply to become an SLP student. It's a very great opportunity, I believe, to study directly with Geshe Michael. And also he said in another video that he wanted this group to be small. He wanted this group to be special and not that big. So that was one of the ideas why he decided to share it with SLP. I don't think it means that he doesn't want to share it with everybody else, right? As he said if you are ready, you will pull these teachings from your teacher. Amazing. Thank you for your feedback and for your reactions. Yeah, SLP is something special, I agree. And the second program that I wanted to mention with you today is the Young Leaders Program. It's actually for the different audience, which also is interested in the integration of Western and Eastern wisdom and knowledge. But it's for younger people, I would say, if you are, or maybe your nephew, or maybe your son or daughter, or somebody you know, if you are at that age of from 18 to 24, 25, and you think that I would love to learn more. I would love to even maybe start my business starting from 18, but I want to make it more ethical. I have my big dreams. But I don't know how to start. Here also we invite all those people because Geshe Michael will share all his knowledge with this group too, with young leaders who have bigger dreams, who want to help the world, but they just don't know how. Maybe they are bored with usual regular programs in the universities and they want to actually start acting. So this is also a very special group, and I really encourage everybody to share this knowledge with everyone you know who may be like applicable for this kind of program. So please share it. But before that, to inspire you even more, I also want to show you a short video from Geshe Michael where he shares his vision about YLP. So invite you to that one.
So I think, in my opinion, we would like to choose students or select students, not just on their scores. Of course, they should be intelligent. Of course, they should be good people. They should be good students. But I also see a room where we check the character of the person. We check, are they capable of a big vision or big dreams in their life? And then I think we'll be very excited to look at a combination of their academic ability, their background, and what are their dreams? What kind of vision do they have for their life? I think it's especially that last thing that we are looking for. And in my experience at Princeton as an undergraduate, it was the students with the big vision that did the best in their life after Princeton. They used their Princeton degree to do great things to help many people. And so I think we're looking for that kind of special young person. Should be, a good student, but doesn't have to be the top student. Sometimes the top student is doesn't have a vision. So I think, in my opinion, we should look for a combination between vision and academic performance and some kind of emotional connection to our university. So the YLP program is designed to not be full-time. It's a 2-year program. Students come for special sessions. Then they have special classes. I'll be writing special, kind of like textbooks for them. I look forward to doing that because I think that age group has a different capacity and they have a different vision. I can already imagine the special materials that we will design for them at Princeton. As an undergraduate, I wish they had educated me better about leadership, about creativity, about innovation. A lot of my courses were very dry, dull. Just memorize this, take an exam, pass, get a number, get your degree, leave the university. And I feel like there were some weak points in the Princeton education. I learned more from 2 or 3 professors after school hours. You know, I went to their house, I talked to them, I met with their families. We had a relationship where I learned more. I remember the things that I wish they had taught me at Princeton during my undergraduate. So for YLP, it's our intention to, of course, we're going to teach hard, meaning solid business information, something that will help you in your real life, not just business, but also personal information that you need. You know, I would say philosophical information, especially from the ancient Asian classical literature, that will help you to have an amazing life later in your life. So I think we have a unique combination of very practical business information. So I think, in my opinion, these young people, in English we say they will have a good head start on their life. The YLP program will give them a great head start to learn some things that they're going to need, I don't know, for the next 50 years in their life to be successful, but also to be happy, and also to be a good person and to make a solid contribution to your community and your country and your whole world.
Yay! So let me know in the chat which program speaks to you most. Is it YLP or is it SLP? Which one speaks to you most? And to be honest, YLP speaks to me as well. I like the idea. I really wish when I was younger, when I studied in the university, I had this knowledge, because what Geshe Michael will teach them is, it's not like the standard university subjects. It will be about entrepreneurship, about meditation, about big vision, about thinking, about being able to learn at any age. You know, all the subjects are very interesting to me, and I would also love to go. I see Evgeny is asking, what about the audience from 30 to 40? We do have MBA for that, but today our focus is on these 2 programs, on SLP and YLP. And if you are drawn to any of those programs, I want to share with you QR code. Please make a screenshot or go through the website. It's dseu.org, an admission, so it's quite easy to find us. And just go there and register, learn more. And as one of our students said, actually, about her son going to YLP, she said, if my son goes there, or when he goes, me as a parent, I would be more calm about his future. I would know that he has this great basis inside of him, and he will be okay in this life. And I think it's really great, especially for parents or for grandparents, when you are really thinking about the future of your children, grandchildren, your nephews, and nieces, when you think about them, and you maybe sometimes thinking what will happen with them, how will they live, etc. So I personally believe that this program will really give a great head start to these people, especially to our current generation, who are very agile. They want to learn more. Some of them really are ready to start their own businesses or some kind of things. They have this entrepreneurial spirit already, even they are young. So I invite every one of you to think about it. If you have people, if you don't have your own children, or if you do have, think about it, maybe start planting seeds as well, and invite them all. And next, I just wanted to tell you about our next speaker, and it's not today. I mentioned that we will have a series of webinars, and this is Tina Liu. I invited her in 2 weeks. She actually is agreed to share her experience with us. And here are some words from her. When I learned about her story, I actually was really surprised because I learned that Tina never thought about business herself. When she joined DSEU, she thought that she will study all the time, she will be like a student all the time. Business is not for her. But when she joined DSEU, she realized that this is actually business is just a tool. It's something that she can use to change the world. It's not like business as for business, it's business to change the world. And that's why she created a great company, which is called Tongmin. It's an educational company, and she is teaching a lot of moms. Actually, she has, if I'm correct, she has a very large audience in China and overseas of China as well. So she is working a lot in that respect, and she is also one of the DSE organizers. And that is really great. And I believe that DCI organizers, I believe that DSEU helped her a lot to become that great person that she is now. So please, here are some more words from her. She says that she understands that knowledge is for people. The purpose is to make people happy now and in the future. And she's asking herself, what is the greatest contribution she can make in her lifetime with the knowledge? That's why she created the company. It's an educational company, and she shares this knowledge with the whole world. So please don't miss that webinar. I will definitely, we will send you all the links to invite you, and also prepare some questions for Tina, because I'm sure you have different types of questions to our DSEU graduate, maybe about the study, maybe about her business. She will be happy to answer them. So we will welcome Tina in 2 weeks. And now the last but not least at all, I wanted to share with you, oops, sorry. I wanted to share with you that our DSEU project is very huge. You probably know about it. You know that we are building 2 campuses. Our vision and vision of Geshe Michael and Joe Xiaoping and Stanley Chen and everybody is to have these 2 campuses to actually encompass this vision of East and West. And we will have 2 campuses, one in Sedona and one in Kyoto. So for that, we really need your support. Even if you are not going to be our students yet, I'm sure that I really want everyone to become our student. Doesn't matter how old are you. It's really great if you become our student. I think everybody should. But if you are not ready yet, I support you. I invite you to become our sponsor, our contributor. And actually, in my eyes, you will be our founder. Why? Because you will be founding campus like this. This is AI, of course, but look at this. If this is realized, if this kind of campus we can build in Kyoto, this is a Kyoto AI picture, AI generated picture, but if we can do it, and then if we can do something big in Sedona as well, then we can really encompass this vision and create a big campus with 8 libraries. That's Geshe Michael's new project, if you heard about it recently. So with 8 libraries, with all the campuses that will bring to the world all this wisdom, and it will unite all the people from East and West. It will remove, hopefully, all the conflict in the world. That will be really, really great. So I invite you to become our founder, and you can call yourself founder. Even by being here in this webinar, you are, for me, a person who is supporting our big vision, our great vision. So please think about it. Please think, this is actually, again, another AI generated picture about our campus in Sedona. Those of you who've been in Sedona, can you imagine when we have something like this in Sedona? And it will be a center on the western part for this knowledge. So it will be really, really great. And I invite you to think as a founder of this university. I invite you to support our university and, oops, sorry, it's running. I invite you to support our university and to become a founder and to rejoice, of course, for that, because this university is here to stay. This university is here at least for 1,000 years, because that's the vision of Geshe Michael. He wants it to be like that. He wants it to be a torch of wisdom and light for the whole world for at least 1,000 years. And imagine about your seeds. Every seed that you plant now with this university, it will stay and continue to support you for at least 1,000 years. I think that's amazing. I cannot even imagine it, but it's really, really amazing. So I invite you to support, and I will also invite my helpers to share links in the chat as well. I see someone is asking why LP is online. YLP is online and offline. And by the way, thank you so much for your for being here. Please don't leave. I have one last request for you. I want to ask you to actually fill in the questionnaire, a small feedback form. For me, this would be a very useful for us, for university feedback form, so we can hear you, we can understand your needs, we can prepare something interesting for you for the next time. So let me quickly share it with you. Yay, thank you. Mira is sharing. And also this is the form. This is the form that I ask you to fill in. This is for everyone who is in this webinar, who attended it. It's just asking you a few questions. It will not take a lot of time. And that way we will connect with you more, and we will try to prepare something even bigger for you. I hope this webinar was good, interesting, insightful, supporting your journey, and it will lead you furthermore into realizing your big and small dreams. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much, dear translators, dear technical team, our recording team. We have a team in China where it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. They are still with us. Thank you, and I appreciate all your efforts. I appreciate all your time. Every dollar counts, every effort counts. And if you want to share some of your insights in the chat, you can stay and share. I will be here for some time. You are welcome, or you can share them in this form that I sent in, and Mira is sending it now again in the chat. Please take 2-3 minutes of your time to fill in the form. It will be a good feedback for us for the future. And if you have questions as well, you can stay and I can answer, or you can send them via the form. Let me see, maybe I missed some questions. Millie was asking why LP is online. It's partially online and offline. Thank you. Please come back next time. Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Roxana, and others who actively participated in this webinar. Thank you, Janice.
I want your body. look at you, you make me blind. Why do you have to be so beautiful all the time? I know I can't be with you. It's killing me to see you with someone else. What to do? Now I'm in the corner and watching you smile, watching you smile. And I can't get over you, I'm losing my mind. All of the things that I wish I could tell you, every time when you're passing me by, I fall in love. There's something about you, I wish you were mine. And if I only could be there to hold you, it feels like I stop breathing when you're around. I'm in love. There's something about you, I wish you were mine. So many times I wanted to put my arms around you just to be close to you. And in my head, it's just you and I don't know why I feel this way. Now I'm in the corner and watching you smile, watching you smile. Now I can't get over you, I'm losing my mind. All of the things that I wish I could tell you, every time when you're passing me by, I fall in love. There's something about you, I wish you were mine. And if I only could be there to hold you, it feels like I stop breathing when you're around. I'm in love. There's something about you, I wish you were mine. I wish you were mine. I wish you were mine. 'Cause every time you pass me by, I fall in love. I fall in love. All of the things that I wish I could tell you, every time when you're passing me by, I fall in love. There's something about you, I wish you were mine. And if I only could be there to hold you, it feels like I stop breathing when you're around. I'm in love. There's something about you, I wish you were mine. Ooh, there's something about you, I wish you were mine.